Have you ever been accused of cheating on somebody with your brother? Story time. So everybody knows Capri is my long lost brother. So back in February, I was talking slash dating this dude. I really don't know. And so Capri was like, oh, since we found out we were siblings, we should make a video together. I was like, okay, cool, I'm down. So I messaged the boy that I was talking to. I was like, hey, I'm gonna make a video with this dude, just so you know. He was like, okay, cool. So me and Capri, we hop on a call and we meet and talk for the first time. I post a video, everything's cool, everything's fine and dandy. Everything was sweet as peaches until maybe about 3 days later. Stuff starts getting awkward between us, like he's not acting the same, like he's not sitting with me, he's not talking to me, he's not like texting me. I'm like, okay, I don't need a man to like talk to me every single day. Quite frankly, I don't need a man at all. But if that's your norm, you're gonna think something's up, something's a little sus. Anyway, so I get home and I check my TikTok DMs and I see a message from his brother. He was like, oh, our mom is saying that like you're cheating on him because we weren't even allowed to date. Like, so how she got to that conclusion, I don't know. He was like, oh, our mom is saying that you're cheating on him, like you're like being unfaithful. I'm like, huh? Here I am freaking out, trying to defend my name, trying to defend my honor. So I go text his mom. I never should have done that. I go explaining myself, like saying how I'm a good person, I would never do that. Pro tip, y'all, do not ever try to explain yourself to anybody. If people don't see that you're a good person from your character, boom, on to the next. After I sent that text, she responds like, oh, I didn't think that, like I just thought it was a little bit weird, like, you know. Which now that I'm thinking about it, it was honestly weird how a grown woman was reporting to her son about what I was doing on my TikTok account. Which was weird because we stopped talking the year before. He wanted nothing to do with me. He didn't even look my way. But as soon as somebody saw them TikTok followers, we want to be all buddy-buddy. I was skeptical from the beginning. A few days later, we went our separate ways. I sent him a text which was super embarrassing of me. That text was so degrading. I was like, oh my gosh, like, if you ever decide that, no. Never again. So the lesson of this story is do not ever try to change yourself or change what you're doing for anybody. Man, woman, or anything in between.
I was in high school, I had a crush on this guy, and we would literally FaceTime every single night, but I couldn't tell if he liked me or not. And I was not going to ask him, and I was not going to tell him that I liked him. That would be crazy town. So, also this is a life hack, you're welcome. Or no one should do this ever. I made a fake phone number so that I could ask him, just as an inquisitive, anonymous stranger. So smart. One night when we're on FaceTime, because we FaceTimed every night, I'm like, I'm gonna send it now because he would never suspect that it was me sending the text if we're on FaceTime in that exact moment. So I sent him a text that says, are you and Paige talking? He responds to this text, who is this? To which fake phone number replies, answer the question. And he doesn't. So I'm like, I need a way to move this along. And also, to throw him off the scent even further, of course, what am I gonna do other than send myself a text from the anonymous stranger? Duh. So I text myself from the fake phone number to my real number. Are you and blank him talking? And I gasp. I'm like, I just got this text. First of all, someone give me the Oscar. He's like, oh my gosh, I just got the same text from that number. That's so crazy. I'm like, that is so crazy. So what are you gonna say? Like, what's your answer? But he forgets all about the question and he's like, detective mode, asking all of his friends if they know whose phone number this is. I'm like, you are wasting your time. But one of his friends, who's apparently a genius, he's like, bro, I bet you somebody made a fake phone number because like the texts are green, not blue iMessage. Like it's probably just a fake phone number because they want to know if you're talking to someone because they have a crush on you. That's a bold assumption. But he took it and ran with it. And he's like, yeah, that's got to be it. That's really the only scenario that makes sense. Cocky. Yeah. And he goes, Paige, I'll handle this. And I'm like, so excited. I'm like, what is he going to say? Oh my God. And he doesn't answer the question. He says instead, if you have a crush on me and that's why you want to know if I'm talking to someone, I would literally never date someone that's childish. Okay, rude. What if anonymous stranger over here is a sensitive girl? And then a few years ago, he calls me randomly and he's like, do you remember when that fake phone number was texting us? And I'm like, oh yeah, faintly. And he goes, so was that you? No. Why would that be me? Was it you? No, I was like, no, that's so embarrassing. Why would it be me? Anyways, I told that story on here a while ago. You've already seen that video before. I'm retelling it because this morning I received a text from him. I didn't even need to open it. I already knew what it was about. And sure enough, it said, Saw your TikTok, LOL. That's embarrassing. I know it was like almost a decade ago now, but that's like low-key embarrassing. Kind of iconic though. Yesterday, I got followed to my car and almost attacked by a old man. So get ready with me for my boyfriend's baseball game while I tell you how he literally saved my life yesterday. I picked my boyfriend up from the field and we go get lunch in Coconut Grove, which if you know Coconut Grove, it's not an unsafe place in Miami. I'm a very paranoid person. I'd like to say I'm very self-aware, and so is my boyfriend, especially when he's with me. He's like very, very just like noticing everything. Him being like that and just always taking care of me and knowing what's going on has definitely resulted in me just turning my brain off at certain points when I'm with him and like looking at my phone when I shouldn't be, or like just following his lead. Afterwards, we were talking about this incident and he was like, I don't know if you realized, but every single time you like walk in somewhere, I take a step behind you and watch you walk in front of me, and then I turn around to see if anyone looks at you. It was like literally I caught these two creepy guys looking at you, and every time I look at people, they like look around like as if they're not doing anything, and I'm like, okay, you're just crazy, you know, paranoid, whatever. I swear stuff like this doesn't really happen when I'm by myself, other than the fact that the workouts that I was wearing yesterday, I literally like got out of my car and got honked at twice when I was walking around in Miami. So we finished eating our lunch and we're headed back to the car, and I'm quickly trying to pull up a smoothie place on my phone that we can walk to instead of going to the car. I'm not really paying attention, but I hear my boyfriend start mumbling like, what's going on with this guy? Like, what is he doing? And I'm just thinking he's like overreacting because he's always very protective of me. I'm not thinking anything of it. And we walk and he's like, dude, what is this guy doing? And he starts tugging on me, like tugging on my arm. And I'm still like on my phone trying to find this smoothie place. And I look up and I see like an probably 80-year-old old man. So I look back down and I'm like, dude, what? And he was literally in like a button up, you know, like he looked like your average old man. I start like hearing my boyfriend be like, babe, come on. And he's like pulling me. He's like, get off your phone, come on. And I was like, chill. I'm trying to find the smoothie place. He starts dragging me to the car. At this point, I like actually get off my phone because I'm like, what? So I look up, I see, I kid you not, this old man charging at me with his eyebrows like this, staring at me. I'm like sprinting, freaking out now. My boyfriend's grabbing me, screaming at me to get in the car while this man is still following us to the car. I'm like scrummaging for my keys. It was the scariest thing ever. My boyfriend stays standing there while I get in the car and lock the doors. Mind you, this guy is maybe like not even a yard away from me. Like he's really close to me. Like I'm hopping in this car and locking the doors before he has a chance to grab me. My boyfriend finally runs away once I'm in the car and I'm safe. And he gets in the car, I lock the door, I pull out. This guy is still charging towards the car. I finally pull out, and then he just turns around and walks the other way. It was so scary. So on the way back, I'm asking my boyfriend, I'm like, what the hell triggered that? Like, how did that happen? And he was like, I saw him eating there alone, and I saw him look at you and get up. And my first reaction was, oh, he's probably just getting up to go to the bathroom, do something. He kept walking, which was weird, and I didn't really know what was going on. And then I saw the way he was looking at you, and that's when I freaked out and started to panic. It's really scary because I don't know what I would have done if my boyfriend wasn't there. I probably would have seen the guy earlier, but I would have freaked out way more because I wouldn't have known what to do in this situation. I really don't know what happened. I don't know what was wrong with him, but yeah. That is like your sign to just be careful because it can happen when you're not expecting it and leaving a nice restaurant. What I was thinking is like he could not have been in his right mind, because even if he was like, I don't know, like what he could have been wanting from me, but I was with my boyfriend holding his hand. Like, I don't know what he thought would happen. I don't know what triggered his reaction. I honestly thought when I like jumped in my car and quickly like slammed the door shut and locked it, that he was gonna like start banging on the window or like pulling the door. Like, that's how scary he looked. That is the story of how I almost got attacked in Miami.